Brothers and sisters, my name is Ed Kelly, and I'm running to be your General President of our IAFF. I want to address the false narrative being perpetrated by a handful of people that our union is divided. Over the last several months, I've had the good fortune to speak directly with thousands of members and local leaders across North America. While there are many different opinions on a host of topics, I've never been more certain that our IAFF is united. IAFF members are not fighting with one another. Locals aren't battling with each other. In fact, I've not heard one single account of a member in need of support who hasn't received assistance from their brothers and sisters across our countries if asked. In my many years as a union leader, I've seen multiple examples of bad actors on the management side of the table using the very same divided union narrative to pit groups of employees against one another. It sickens me to see the same tactic being used to try to coerce IAFF locals against each other in a desperate attempt to score cheap political points. If 2020 were a normal year and we weren't battling this historic pandemic, we would have been able to come together as a union to hold our convention. And had that occurred, the sports bars and Irish pubs would have been full of firefighters from Massachusetts, Wisconsin, New York, California, and Washington State. As those conversations unfolded, would there have been debates and disagreements? You bet. There'd be boisterous debate in who would win the Super Bowl. The Packers, Seahawks, Rams, or Bills, but not the Patriots. There would also be disagreements as to who to support in elections. Elections force you to pick a side. It's called democracy. Democracy can be divisive, but without a transparent democracy, we won't have a union very long. Just because we're having our first election for general president since 1988, before most of us were on the job or some of us were even born, doesn't mean we're not brothers and sisters. And while there will be strong sides on all issues, I'm offended to see some leaders in the IFF pulling the divided union card tactic out of management's bag of dirty tricks. And you should be too. We're not a divided union. We're having an election. It's called democracy, not division. The next time you hear someone try to sell that line about how we're divided, I'm asking you to challenge them head on. Force them to tell you concretely how IAFF members and how IAFF locals are divided. Ask them for an example when a single member needed assistance and didn't get it. If they can't, send them packing just like some fire chief or city manager or mayor that tries to divide you. My name is Ed Kelly, and I'm running to be your next General President. My solemn oath to you, on day one of my administration, I'll work tirelessly to carry out our mission. I'll be a president for every IAFF member, no matter who your local supported in this election. And together, we'll take our IAFF to new heights. Remember, what unites us as firefighters and paramedics is that when we go out the door, we don't all always come home. And those of us that do have an obligation to those of us that don't to take care of their families. And that's where the mission of the IAFF starts. Be you, be strong, be firefighters.